Nearly 2,300 years ago, a young man rose on the horizon of history, a man who would go on to build one of the largest empires the world had ever seen. He was only 20 years old when he became king, and just 32 when he died. But in those short 12 years, he changed the course of history forever. His name was Alexander the Great. Alexander was born in 356 BCE in Macedonia, a small kingdom north of ancient Greece. His father, King Philip II, was a brilliant general and ruler. His mother, Olympias, was a strong spiritual woman who believed her son was destined for greatness. Even as a child, Alexander showed extraordinary intelligence and courage. He was tutored by none other than Aristotle, the greatest philosopher of that time. From him, Alexander learned science, philosophy, logic, and perhaps the dream of conquering the world. When Alexander was just 20, his father was assassinated, and suddenly, he became king. But Alexander's dream wasn't just to rule Macedonia. His dream was to rule the world. He first secured control over all of Greece, and then in 334 BCE, he launched an invasion against the mighty Persian Empire, which was then the most powerful empire on earth. One by one, he won battle after battle: the Battle of Granicus, the Battle of Issus, the Siege of Tyre, and finally, the Battle of Gaugamela, where he defeated King Darius III and brought down the Persian Empire. He then went to Egypt, where he was hailed as a god, and founded the great city of Alexandria, a city that still stands today. Then he turned east, conquering Iran, Afghanistan, Central Asia, and finally reaching the edge of the known world, India. In India, he faced a powerful and brave king, Raja Porus. They fought the fierce battle of the Hydaspes River. Alexander won, but was so impressed by Porus's bravery, he gave him back his kingdom and made him an ally. But when Alexander wanted to push further into India, his weary and homesick army refused to go on.
He turned back, but something had changed in him.
When he reached Babylon, he suddenly fell ill, and within days, the great Alexander was gone.
Just 32 years old and dead. And even today, historians debate his cause of death.
Was he poisoned? Did he fall ill? Or did destiny simply call him home?
Alexander's empire stretched from Greece to the borders of India. But he didn't just see himself as a conqueror.
He dreamed of uniting cultures, blending religions, and building a universal kingdom. He founded dozens of cities, brought people from all nations together, and opened roads that would connect East and West for centuries.
Alexander is long gone, but his name, his legacy, his ambition still echo in the pages of history.
Alexander's vision was never just about war, though he was a military genius, a man who never lost a single battle. His ambition went far beyond the battlefield. He believed in the idea of a unified world, where East and West could live side by side, where Greek learning could blend with Persian culture, Egyptian wisdom, and Indian spirituality. To achieve this, he did what no king before him dared to do. He married a Persian princess, Roxana, and he encouraged his officers and soldiers to do the same, forming bonds not just with swords, but with families and communities. He began wearing Persian robes, holding court like an Eastern king, adopting local customs to show his respect for the people he had conquered. But not everyone agreed with this vision. Many of his own men began to turn against him. They were Greeks, and they saw themselves as conquerors, not equals. They didn't understand why Alexander wanted to be seen as one of the Persians rather than their ruler. Tensions rose, some of his closest companions rebelled, and some were even executed. For the first time, Alexander was no longer the golden-haired hero, but a king struggling to hold together a fragile empire built on blood and ambition. Still, he pressed on, driven by something deeper. Was it pride? Was it destiny? Or was it simply the desire to become immortal? His final years were filled with unrest. As he marched back from India, he faced rebellions, harsh climates, and immense loss. Thousands of his men died crossing deserts, Morale collapsed. When he returned to Babylon, he began to plan something even greater, a massive campaign to conquer Arabia, and perhaps beyond. But fate had other plans. One evening, after a grand banquet, Alexander fell ill. Fever gripped him. He grew weak, and after several days, he lost the ability to speak. Surrounded by his generals, he was asked, "To whom do you leave your empire?" He is said to have whispered, "To the strongest." And with that, the conqueror of the known world, the king of kings, the boy who had once tamed a wild horse named Bucephalus, took his final breath. His death left a massive power vacuum. He had no clear heir, no one truly ready to rule his empire, and so his generals, known as the Diadochi, divided the empire among themselves. What followed was chaos, betrayal, civil war, and the complete unraveling of what Alexander had built. But the legend of Alexander never faded. The cities he founded became centers of trade, art, and learning, most famously Alexandria in Egypt, home to the greatest library of the ancient world. His influence stretched from Rome to India. Both Julius Caesar and Napoleon saw themselves as his successors. Even today, historians debate his life, his legacy, his motives. Was he a visionary, a tyrant, a genius, or simply a man born in the wrong century? One thing is certain. Alexander the Great changed history, not just with his sword, but with his ideas. He dared to believe that the world could be one, and that dream, though unfinished, still echoes through time.